when 14-year-old Misty Copsey disappeared in 1992. Police thought she was a runaway.
Her mother was convinced she was taken. Decades later, though, she was still missing.
We're previewing Who Took Misty Copsey.
That's on this episode of So Much Crime,
So Little Time. Welcome to So Much Crime, So Little Time. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Dee, and in this episode, we'll introduce you to Who Took Misty Copsey from ID.
If you haven't listened to this show yet, that is great. This is one of our preview episodes.
Here, we only discuss episode 1 and introduce the series. No spoilers for what's to come.
You'll also find a link to the series in our show notes.
In our next episode, we'll discuss the whole series, but right now, we just want to decide if this is a crime that's worth your time.
All right, Dee, before we get into the story, let us hop in the time machine. So this crime happened in September 17th, 1992, and a very special year, I think, deserves a very special guest. Would you like to introduce our guest?
Yeah, we have a very special guest that came to our show a long time ago to support, even though she hates crime. And hearing about it and listening to it, but she's still here to support. She joined us on our last episode, the recap of the Princess Diana series on, what was the name of the podcast? What
You're wrong about?
What
You're wrong about.
What? Yep. And I was thinking of like YWA.
Sure.
And then, okay. Anyway, okay. And anyway, Stacey's here. She's joining us again because she is a music and movie whiz, apparently, and she is going to smoke us in our time machine quizzes.
Enthusiast.
Can't wait.
I don't know about a whiz.
Stacey, one thing we like to do before we jump into the trivia is just reflect on where we were at the time. So September 1992, where in the world were you?
Literally in the world, I was in Santa Rosa, California, where I grew up in 5th grade.
Okay.
I had a perm, and I had a giant cardigan with unicorns all over it, and the buttons were unicorns too.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
So it's just really thriving in 1992.
See, I'm guessing pretty much the same for you.
Yeah, but I was 4, so any perms or large cardigans were likely forced upon me as opposed to it being my choice at that stage. Was in Dublin, likely messing around the roads, not up to much.
What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, I was in upstate New York. I guess I was in like 7th or 8th grade. I'm not sure. One of those. Middle school. I was in middle school. And this was after my sweatpants phase. I think this was in my, like, it was also post like Panama Jack, JCPenney phase.
You were in middle school and you were already past your sweatpants phase?
That's advanced.
That seems like...
I didn't really lean into my sweatpants till college.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was my like wearing REM t-shirts and Van Halen t-shirts phase. That's probably where I was, which is a great segue into some music trivia. Should we start with some music trivia?
No, but okay.
What do you want to start with? Where do you want to start?
I wanted to start with the movie trivia.
All right, let's do it. Go for it.
Okay. Thank you. So I wanted to start off with a movie that I actually remember. My brothers were obsessed with it, but it's kind of a bit of a cult classic, so I don't know if you guys will remember it from the time. So I'm going to throw the name of it out there and see if either of you have any knowledge of it. Okay? It's called Jumpin' at the Boneyard.
Is that
have either of you ever heard of it?
Alexis Arquette?
Yes, Alexis Arquette. Way before they were
in like New York
known.
When it was like...
Wait, who is
still
Alexis Arquette?
Gross. Like, it's not like glamorous New York, but like scary. Don't ride the subway by yourself, New York.
Yeah, Alexis Arquette is an American actress. Jeff has been in The Wedding Singer, Of Mice and Men, Pulp Fiction, many things. Also, Tim Roth was in it. It wasn't. I love that you know this, Stacey. That's so exciting. And it was apparently like a very gritty, like low budget drama, but like big in our house for whatever reason. Not sure why. I always thought it was so weird. I don't know if you remember the ending. Like it was kind of dark and
like a one shot?
This kind of. Yeah. It had like this one-shot thing, and then at the very end, that last scene when they just start singing to each other, it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you're like, well, okay. And I don't know. My eldest brother, he was like, this is the best part.
Oh my God, Jeff's face.
What is this movie? I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah, I'm surprised you've never heard of it before. I think at one point that they used a pigeon as well for the camera because they wanted to do like every section in like a single shot.
Yeah, and that inspired that one. Oh shoot, there's like a Michael Keaton movie that was like all kind of one shot that was inspired by
Birdman?
the end of. Yeah, there we go.
I did see that movie.
Literally because of the pigeon. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I love it.
I don't know if I can't validate that.
Amazing. So Jeff, you never heard of it?
I don't think so. No, I'm familiar with Tim Roth and New York City and pigeons.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the words of that last song because it was. I feel like they were like singing about like their childhood, like maybe about like their favorite cereal or something.
I can't hold.
I'm sure.
So don't make me do it.
Crackle and Pop came into it at some point. But yeah, I don't know. I can't believe you don't know it, Jeff. I really thought you'd be able to catch that.
Do you have a series of trivia questions based on this movie?
No, but only half of what we just discussed is true. I was waiting for you to be like, call bullshit on that, but apparently you'll just believe anything me and Stacy say. So I've
never heard of this movie. I don't know who Alexis Arquette is.
You guys played me? Seriously?
I texted Stacy the other day and I was like, want to do something fun? And she was like, always.
Wow, that's mean.
Like pretend like you're.
I was thinking of giving Stacy all the answers to the quiz and be like, get them before I finished the question. But then this sounded more fun.
No, this movie sounds insane. I have no idea what it's about or who any of these people are.
They don't end up singing like to each other in the. But anyway,
wait, how much of this is made up?
The camera.
Is the whole thing made up?
It is. No, Jumping at the Boneyard was a movie. It came out on the 18th of September 1992. It is a gritty, low-budget drama about a day in the life of a social worker, played by Tim Roth, trying to save his drug-addicted homeless brother, Alexis Arquette.
I don't know who Alexis Arquette is. You just told me to pretend I did.
Yeah, in New York City. And so then I messaged Stacy, was like, these are the facts that you need to know. But then we added in the thing about the pigeon and the camera. Because that's ridiculous, Jeff. I can't believe you didn't even bat an eyelid at that.
I mean, the 90s were a weird time.
You two are weird
film.
asses. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the way you were like, Stacy, didn't it inspire that really famous? Okay.
I knew he would know that movie. It was really good.
All right. It got like 28% or something on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't that bad, actually. For a terrible movie, seemingly. Let's see. Can either of you name any of the top movies that we are going to discuss? There's 5 movies that I've got some questions, some quotes about, and then one that I was like, well, this is the best one, so we're going to have some additional trivia. So, can anyone name some of the top movies? Not necessarily movies that came out in and around that time, but they were very popular at that time.
Oh.
What came out in 1992?
Like A Few Good Men?
Not that one.
Okay.
Okay, will I just give you some hints? Okay,
sure.
So the 5 movies that we have, and then maybe you guys can choose one each, and I'll just do a trivia question on one each. Okay, so
Sure.
The 5 movies are Sneakers, Honeymoon in Vegas, Unforgiven, Single White Female, and Sister Act.
I've been talking about Sneakers for the last week. Love Sneakers. One of my favorite movies.
Okay, Jeff, which movie do you want to do a quiz question on?
Sneakers.
Okay, Stacy, are you ready?
Yes.
Jeff, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so how are we going to play this? Shout your name if you know the answer. Okay?
I got the buzzer you guys sent me. I'm ready.
Okay, the ensemble cast of this heist film features a star-studded lineup. Which of the following actors was not in the movie? Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Sidney Poitier, Harrison Ford. Yeah, whatever.
Can I buzz in?
Yeah. Well, you have to say your name.
Jeff.
You can't buzz in if you don't say your name.
I don't know who this guy is.
Okay. Yes, Jeff. What is your guess?
Well, I don't know what that third name you said was, but it's Harrison Ford was not in that movie.
That's not fair on the Irish person who can't pronounce what? Is it a French person's name? Poitier?
Poitier?
No.
Sidney Poitier's in Sneakers?
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
It's a great cast.
What a get.
So is Ben Kingsley.
Where's the name from?
Oh, damn.
Okay.
I assume he's French. I don't know.
So is Stephen Tobolowsky.
Oh, okay.
River Phoenix.
Okay, so you told me that my quiz was going to be too long, but now you're just elongating it with random names. So stop. And Stacy, can you pick? So there's 1 point to Jeff, although I've been thinking of docking him 5 points because he's annoying me right now. Stacy, can you please pick another
I'll do Honeymoon in Vegas. I love a good Nick Cage vehicle.
Amazing. Okay, in this romantic comedy, Nicolas Cage's character takes his fiancée to Las Vegas. Who plays his love interest in the film? Is it Sarah Jessica Parker, Demi Moore, Kathleen Turner, or Julia Roberts?
Stacy?
Woo!
It's Sarah Jessica Parker.
Woo! Ding, ding, ding! 1-1. No favorites are being played here, I swear. Okay.
Wow.
Excellent. Wow. So, what we are going to do is...
Sister Act Showdown?
Oh, yeah. Well, so I think Sister Act is my favorite out of all these because I haven't seen any of the other ones. So what I'm going to do is I am going to give a fun fact, but I'm going to bleep out part of the fun fact about Sister Act, and you guys have to try and figure out what the bleeped out part is. Okay. The role of Dolores Van Cartier was originally written for blank blank.
Oh, it wasn't Whoopi?
Apparently, the person turned it down because she didn't think her fans would want to see her in a nun's habit. She later expressed regret over the decision.
I don't know, but I can throw out a name.
You can both throw out a guess.
Dolly Parton.
I can understand why she would think that her fans wouldn't want to see her in a nun's habit.
I even have like a funny joke. I was trying to think like the mom from Home Improvement, but I don't know her name. Suzanne Summers.
Incorrect on both counts. It was originally written for Bette Midler.
Oh, damn. Well, she would have been good.
Yeah. But apparently she was not too happy then when it did so well. Okay.
That's her loss.
It seems like her loss. Okay. So what we could do now is we could do another Sister Act showdown. Or we could do a quote from one of the movies and see if you guys can fill in some of the quote.
From a different movie?
One of the 5. Stacy, you are our guest. Which would you like to do?
Sure, let's try the quote. Is that what you're going to say, Jeff?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Stacy, which movie do you want to focus in on?
I mean, I've only seen Honeymoon in Vegas and Sister Act, so I will just be making stuff fully up for the rest.
Okay, so are we going with Sister Act or Honeymoon in Vegas? Jeff, your choice. Have you seen both of these movies?
I have not seen Honeymoon in Vegas. I've seen Sister Act, though.
Okay.
All right, I guess Sister Act. So Sister Act Showdown it is.
Okay. Sister Act Showdown. We've got a quote. I'm going to blank a word out of the quote, and you guys have to figure out what that might be. All right?
Let's do it.
So the Reverend Mother says, and what next? Popcorn? Curtain calls? Dolores responds, yeah, but that's the problem. People like going to theaters and they like going to casinos, but they don't like coming to church. Why? Because it's a blank. But we could change all that. We could rock this place. I think I gave you the worst blank.
A snooze?
I was thinking snooze.
You are both incorrect. Okay, we'll go back to... I'm going to go back to...
This is going great.
I didn't know that you guys would be so bad at this.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to go back to a fun fact about a Sister Act and see.
I know that Sister Mary Roberts' alarm clock says, out of bed, you daisy head. I remember that part.
That's amazing. Okay, let's see who's going to get closest. The film was a major financial hit. It grossed over a certain amount of million. worldwide against a budget of $31 million. Okay. What do we think it grossed over worldwide? The budget was $31 million.
76.
I'm going to say 112.
Okay, I'm going to give you both one more guess because you're both pretty far off and I want you guys to get a little bit closer.
Are we way low or way high?
Way low.
Oh.
200 million.
160 million.
And Stacy is going to win with 200 million. It was 231 million.
$231 million?
Mm-hmm.
In 1992?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Worldwide,
yeah. Sequel.
I mean, it's a great movie.
Okay. That means that it is, in fact, Stacy who has won today. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Including for that very first movie. She knew so much about such an obscure, non-cult classic. It wasn't a cult classic, by the way, either.
No, it sounds just like an awful movie.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for this portion of the time machine. Jeff, now you can do your music.
All right. Let's do some music. The music of 1992. It's pretty great.
Is there any Sister Act?
I don't have anything from Sister Act, but I have two songs along with some associated trivia from each. And so in both cases, I'm going to ask if you can first figure out the song, and then we're going to go on to the additional trivia. So first I have the number one song, the song that was number one this week in the US on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. This song also hit number one in Ireland, although at a different time. This was this band's or group's fifth single, like ever. It is from a movie, not Sister Act, or any of the movies we've talked about. At the time, it set a record for most weeks at number one, which was 13 weeks at number one on the Billboard Hot 100. That record has since been broken many times. And it won at the 1993 Grammys, Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals, and Best R&B Song. And then I have lyrics. Any guesses so far?
Is it a Boys to Men song?
It
or do I need to guess the actual song?
It might be a Boys to Men song, yeah. Any idea what Boys to Men song?
I actually had Boys to Men in my head, and I don't know very many of their songs.
But in your head is not out loud.
Is it Motown Philly?
No, I believe that's their first single.
Oh, okay.
Again, this is their fifth single. Do you know their singles in order?
You know what? I really don't, which is on me.
Do you want some lyrics?
Is it End of the Road?
It is End of the Road.
Oh, yeah.
Stacy! Wild!
If I had said, We Belong Together, would you, how long would that have taken?
There's no lyric you could have said that I would not have been able to identify immediately.
All right, let's do some quick trivia related to this song. First of all, kudos to Stacy. Great job.
Thank you.
Getting it before the lyrics. Impressive. D, take a note.
It is very impressive. I know.
All right, first
D
trivia
older
question.
D.
First trivia question. What movie was this from?
Yeah, that was the part that was tripping me up. When you said a movie, I was initially thinking like a Disney movie, like maybe it was like the Beauty and the Beast song or something. But what movie is End of the Road from? D, do you know the song End of the Road?
Is this like, we've come to the end of the road?
That's the one.
Yes.
Da, 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 da. Yeah.
It's a dramatic breakup ballad.
All right, I think this is the hardest of my trivia questions on this one. It's
Give us a clue, like who was in the movie?
Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is in this
Oh.
movie. He is the star. It also has Halle Berry, Martin Lawrence, Chris Rock, and Robin Givens.
Wow. This is a stacked 1992 cast.
Indeed.
And that's a song I would associate with like some form of romantic comedy.
It is a
Yeah,
romantic
that's what I was
comedy.
going to say.
But then my guess is if it came out in 1992, I was like too young to watch it.
Also, why
I was
didn't see it.
definitely too young to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just give it to you. This one's Boomerang.
Oh, I never would have got that.
Okay, now, a couple other questions. So I said that this was at number one for 13 weeks. At the time, that was a record. That record was then broken a year later by another song, also from a movie, this time a cover song. Spent 14 weeks at number one. So 1993, huge movie, huge song.
Whitney Houston?
Yes.
Oh, good one.
Bodyguard?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Well done, D.
Then, okay,
Thanks,
so that's a
Stacey.
point for D. So point for Stacy, point for D. Then
he's not telling you to take notes. I got it before the lyrics too, Jeff.
Yeah, you should. But you did.
Showing favorites. Thanks, Stacy.
Okay. Then that record got matched by Boyz II Men that same year, the next year.
Stacy's like, I'm going to get this one.
So Boyz II Men then had a song that stayed at number 1 for 14 weeks in 1994, tying Whitney Houston. What was that song?
I feel like that was the I'll Make Love to You on Bended Knee era of Boyz II Men. Is it one of those two?
That's it.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's it.
Jeepers, Stacy. Did you know the Boyz II Men was your hidden talent?
I was a huge fan of Boyz II Men in the early 90s. Definitely had the CD that those two songs were on.
Okay,
Amazing.
I have one more question in this section, then we're going to move on to a different song. In 1995 and 96, the next couple of years after that, Boyz II Men beat their own record and spent 16 weeks at number 1 on a duet. Is it a duet if it's a group and another person? It's them and with someone else. What's that song?
It is One Sweet Day with Mariah Carey.
It is One Sweet Day with Mariah Carey. That is exactly right.
I feel like, hold on, how are we in 95? I thought we were going to focus in 92 and everything is about Boyz II Men and Stacey knows everything about Boyz II Men and I'm going to throw my toys out of my buggy right now. Not fair.
What if, Dee, we could now go over to Ireland for the number 1 song in Ireland in September of 1992.
Okay.
You ready for that?
Was it Boyz II Men?
It's not Boyz II Men.
I don't think they ever made it. They never made it over to Ireland, actually.
Well, no. The End of the Road hit number 1.
What?
It did. But
you were a child. You were so little. I bet your brothers knew it.
Probably.
Okay. This song we're going to talk about now.
That and Jumping at the Boneyard or whatever that thing was called. Sorry.
And then just groove into Boyz II Men on their Walkman.
Okay, so this is the song that was number 1 in Ireland. This song did not hit number 1 in the US. It hit number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also hit number 1, I think, on the dance songs in the US. In Ireland, it spent 8 consecutive weeks at number 1. So pretty big hit in Ireland. And I'm going to read you 2 quotes about the song, and then I have the lyrics. This first one is from a book. I don't know what it's called. It's from the Wikipedia page for the song. And it says, this discotheque song alternates female singing in the chorus with fluid, set male raps in the verses. These are tinted with a resonant sonority, which gives them an astonishingly melancholic softness for a dance hit. That gives the whole track a particular color, almost nostalgia. It's a lot of big fancy words for a dance song. Okay, my second quote. This is from a book called Stars of the 90s Dance Pop 29 Hitmakers Discuss Their Careers. It's a catchy long tail title. From its distinctively electrifying opening chords to its powerful rolling beats, unusually poetic lyrical depth and robust vocals, this is one of the most recognizable success stories of the 90s. Okay.
Is it Groove is in the Heart?
No, but that's a pretty good guess.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's
a great song also.
A little earlier? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's around the same time. I didn't think
you were quite right, but I felt like the description seemed pretty fitting.
Okay. You want to hear some lyrics?
No, I just have Groove is in the Heart in my head.
Sorry, that was my bad.
The first line is the name of the song. I'm going to skip past that to the second line. So blank, 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 blank. It's a soul's companion.
Rhythm as a dancer?
Yes.
Oh, yes. That was great. Well played, Stacy.
Okay.
Wait a minute, I can hear that.
Do you know who sings this song?
No
I
idea.
never would have gotten this. See?
What a tune.
It's a stone cold bop, though. That's a great job, Ireland.
Yes.
The artist is named Snap with an exclamation point. S-N-A-P with an exclamation point. Which leads me to my last couple trivia questions, which are about bands with punctuation in their names.
Ooh.
All right.
Like Wham? Do they have punctuation or is that just the bar?
Actually, first question, Wham, which is appropriately or technically Wham exclamation point.
The exclamation point is silent.
This one's an open-ended question. What is the name of the other guy in Wham?
I don't even know the name of the guy in Wham.
George Michael.
George Michael, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know his name.
Everyone
Who's
loves
the other
you.
guy?
You're George Michael. Oh my God, not even
William.
Not even the faintest of notions. Buzz Aldrin.
It's a good guess. It's actually Andrew
you.
Ridgeley. All right,
Oh,
I got 2 more questions. These are multiple choice. Actually, no, I have 3 more questions. But 2 of them are about the band Fun.
Can you tell me my segment was long, Stacey? Come on now. This is. I'm having a lot of fun, but this is also long.
That's
So
true.
All right, I mean, Stacey's just crushing it on this trivia. All right, so the band Fun,
Cheers.
Fun with a period after their name. So they
that
got
sounds
their...
like you're not any fun. It's like fun.
Well, hang on now. So they got their name because they were joking around with their friends, their friend who was a comedian, and they were trying to come up with awful band names, and they came up with the name Fun, which they sort of liked. Their manager told them to Google it, and they didn't find anything, so they used the name. However, the reason there's a period in the name is what? I have 3 choices for you. A, there was a Swedish death metal band that already had the name Fun. B, there was a Norwegian death metal band that already had the name Fun. Or C, there was an Icelandic death metal band that already had the name Fun.
Did
Okay,
ChatGPT choose these distractors for you?
I wrote these all myself.
Oh, okay.
So before you read the answers, I assumed someone just inputted it and like left the full stop there, and then that was just like part of their name.
Anyone
I'm
can get
gonna
this.
go
Multiple choice.
I'm gonna go with Swedish.
I'll go Icelandic.
It was Swedish. Yeah,
Oh,
did get that one.
see?
All right.
Thank you. I chose 1 out of 3 and I got it right.
One other question about Fun. They had 2 ideas for their name. One was Fun, and the other was something else. That, again, they were joking around with a friend trying to come up with awful band names. What was their second choice? I have 4 choices here.
Okay.
A, Fun, parentheses, not fun. B,
God.
ice cream. C, lactose intolerance. Or D, elbow.
I'm gonna say fun, not fun.
I'm going to go lactose intolerant.
Oh, you're both wrong. It's ice cream. Ice cream.
Oh, man.
Okay, my last question. I'm going to give you 4 band names with punctuation. Which of these is real? A real band name. All right. A, Runaway from the Humans, period. B, Therapy, question mark. C, Folk This, like F-O-L-K, Folk This, exclamation point.
I like how you spelled that out for us in case we were confused.
And D, Wow, comma, Owls, exclamation point.
So which of these is a real band?
Which is
I
real?
really wanted to be the Owls.
Me too. But you all here. You do Owls. I'll do Runaway from the Humans.
They're all real.
Oh,
Oh
amazing.
my god.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They were all
They're all
Twix.
real.
Wow. Owls.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
All right, that was our time machine today, and thank you, Stacy, for joining us
Woo,
on our trip back to
Stacey,
1992.
Thank you for taking me.
Before we go on, we just want to remind everyone about patreon.com/so-much-crime, so little time. And Stacy is here.
Jeff, if only we had someone with us who could tell everyone just how great it is to subscribe on Patreon.
What do you actually like about being a Patreon supporter for this show?
Okay, I mean, besides obviously my real and enduring affection for both of you, I like knowing things that other people don't know and having access to things that other people don't have. So I like when I get my Patreon email with clips that you can't just the lay person listener won't have access to. I feel important. And maybe that's shallow, but it's also true.
That's a great reason.
No, it's perfect.
Great.
This is what we're out there for. The listeners need to be more self-serving and come on, join Patreon and Get the free stuff. Get nosy. Get in there.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on before people. Be smug.
I want to hear something that someone doesn't want me to hear.
Yeah.
That's what we put on Patreon. All the things where Dee says, you got to cut this, end up on Patreon.
I'm sure I wouldn't know because I don't listen to them.
Amazing.
All right. So go to patreon.com/so-much-crime, so little time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Dee, before we get into our discussion, let us talk about what this series is. So this show came out in 2025. It actually just finished releasing episodes in September of 2025, so pretty recently. The host is Sarah Cailean, who, that name might sound familiar. Sarah did another show that we covered. It was Who Killed Jennifer Judd. We covered a preview. We did a preview and recap of Who Killed Jennifer Judd back in April of 2025. As for this series, there are 8 episodes. They are about 45 minutes each. But what happened in this first episode? Dee, so much happened in this first episode.
So much happens in this first episode. Basically, we hear about a 14-year-old, Misty Copsey, who her first night of going somewhere kind of solo with a friend and taking a bus home. So not being collected by a parent or a family member. So she goes to the Washington State Fair, but she never makes it home. Diana, her mother, really believes that someone took her, but the police just think she's a runaway and kind of refuse to investigate it for years. Diana tracks down leads. Trina, the friend Misty was with, Ruben, some guy that Misty had said that could be someone to give her a lift home after Misty misses a bus, the bus driver who tried to help her seemingly, but Misty was just never found. At the very end of the episode, Diana and some searchers, organised by Misty's mom, Diana, not by the police, find trousers, socks and underwear that Misty was wearing that night that she went missing in the woods near where other abducted girls were found. And we're kind of left with that.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, it was a lot. Where do we want to start? Maybe we should start with I say, where do we want to start? And then I don't give you an option to answer. I was wondering if we want to start in the place that we know, which is the host. We know that we liked the host from the previous show that we covered.
Yeah.
That you've already mentioned. Sarah Cailean. I remember us thinking that she was quite strong. She didn't seem to take the easy path. She seemed to be quite, she liked connecting with people and she seemed to be quite thorough with her investigation. I do remember having some issues with some of her jovial nature with some of the comments in the previous series.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of those issues in episode 1 here. I felt the way she was speaking to Colton, who's Misty's brother, seemed very respectful. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to know how you thought that she came across in this episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with the last thing you said. I agree that I remember thinking pretty highly of her in the Jennifer Judd series that we listened to. I think she brought a lot of things that similar things in my notes looking back at that I liked about her. And like I liked her. Actually, I had a note that I liked her sense of humor, talking about her process, color coding and Post-its and spreadsheets and things. And I thought hearing about her process of the way she kind of goes about her work was really interesting in that last series. This one, in this first episode, honestly, she really kind of bothered me. I found her kind of demeanor in this kind of annoying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell me why. Is it because you're ill? Is everything annoying you right now?
So maybe. Like, that's an important note. I listened to this yesterday when I was more ill than I am today. And I listened to it again today where I'm less ill than I was yesterday. How's that? That's logical.
Yes, ill, but still irritable?
Sure. That's fair. So let's see how I do listening to the rest of this. But I think the thing in particular that bugged me was two things. One is kind of a way, the way she put together the podcast. And I think she did this in the last one, but I don't remember it, where she's narrating, like she's telling us the story, and then she kind of like throws to a clip, like an interview with a person, but that interview is mostly her talking, and it's often like it's like her throwing to her, and it's like citing yourself as a source in a paper. It kind of feels like it's a little self-referential in a way that I didn't like. Like I thought,
I don't know that I noticed that.
oh, she did it a bunch of times. She did it several times.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I'm really trying to listen back because I listened to this twice.
I can give you an example.
When
she's talking about when the mom Diana calls the police and they say that they have to wait 30 days to file a missing persons report. She then cuts to herself telling someone else about how bizarre that is, and she's sort of the credible source on that. Like she's using herself as sort of the authority that she is citing. And she may be an authority and she may have like credentials here. It's just I feel like it's a weird move.
And who's the other person she's talking to at that point?
I think she's talking to Colton, the brother.
Wow.
Yeah. The other thing, let me throw out the other thing that bugged me. Because there were things that I liked. Like I thought her way of finding a connection to Misty. So she was about the same age. And honestly, I'm about the same age. I'm a little younger. I think I may be a year or two younger than Misty. Wasn't into Beverly Hills 90210, but my sister was. So like I certainly remember that time. I remember Vanilla Ice, who gets name checked here. But I thought like her attitude about the police. Okay, so this seems to be another story about police screwing up an investigation right from the start. That's a theme that is evident here right from the beginning. And I'm not here to defend bad police work, but I found her kind of aggressively condescending about all of the police work, as though nothing they did was right and there's no excuse for anything they did. And I can't see an excuse for what they did. What they did seemed inexcusable, but there's no sort of like possible empathy or balance there. It's all just like, I obviously know better than what any of these police could have known or done.
Yeah.
So that stood out to me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I will say, just to push back a little bit on the, whatever you called it, self-referential, whatever way you put it, her citing herself, basically. We do have to remember, she was like, what, a detective or something herself for 10 years?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So it's not like she's citing herself and she has no context for this. I get what you mean about the way it's played isn't great, but like, it's not as if, I don't know, it's not as if she isn't a source for this.
I think it's
like her telling someone, but I understand what you mean. I know where you're coming from in terms of irritating, but my point is it's not as if it's just Annie Joe Soap who's saying it.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
She does actually have a credential to say it, and she does have experience to say, like, this is insane that this happened. And then when she's telling someone else, it's their reaction, and she's saying, basically, I don't remember the exact words. I remember that conversation, but I don't think I ever twigged that she was setting it up as her as like the source for it. I felt like it was more, this was the thing that happened, and then you hear her talking and sharing this information with the brother. And I never really found it that it was like, it was more like his reaction and her saying like, you know, this isn't right, like to do this, like, and her knowing that, having had all her experience.
I would like to listen to more of this in a better state of mind, and regret being so critical of her in this preview. I would like for that to happen. That may happen, but I wanted to put it out there. That's how I felt in the moment. I feel pretty strongly about it right now. I was sitting there listening to it the second time thinking, actually I was sitting there the first time thinking, D, why are we listening to this? This is this what we do? This is a child in danger story. This is a cold case. This is possibly a won't get solved case. And this is I don't remember, I didn't go back and listen to what your Reddit reviews were of her in the first podcast, but I'm curious if there are people out there who I feel like there were people critical of her as sort of like a carpetbagger of sorts coming in on that Jennifer Judd case. And yes, she had more of a personal connection to that story. She has no personal connection to this story, which I think also makes it seem a little bit dodgier to me. Like, who is she here? And I get that who she ostensibly is here is she claims to be the first person to take this case seriously, something that the mother really wanted someone all along to investigate this seriously. The mother has passed. The brother is still there, and he seems to be a full participant in this. He seems to be helping her and supporting her in this investigation. But what are we doing here? What are we getting out of this?
I mean, I don't know.
Why'd you pick this? Why'd you pick this?
The reviews are excellent on it. It's another mom. You know, one of my favorite maybe lines from this first episode. This first episode is Sarah Cailean saying moms are the best detectives. Which I hate. That's like a thing that, you know, it's going to be the mother who will have the heart to be like, fuck this. I'm not stopping until I find my child.
Right.
Yeah. I just think I don't know. It had really good reviews. It's a newish podcast. I mean, it's not my fave. Like, you know, I don't like hearing about children going missing. I don't like it, but it has really good reviews. Also, the other thing that is interesting, I thought it was an interesting twist. You know, we do often speak on this show about wanting to try and bring in stories that sometimes aren't amplified, and this seemed to be a story that just didn't get enough attention, which was interesting because it seemed like this was the story of what sounded like a blonde white girl going missing.
Mm-hmm.
However, midway through the podcast, this first episode, we hear I think it's Colton, the brother, noting about their did he say tribe? Was tribe the word he used?
Yeah, it sounds like they're part of a Indigenous American community. Yeah.
Anyway, we basically learn that Misty was Caucasian and Native American.
Right.
But that was not known. And apparently at the time of her going missing, the police didn't want her to be labelled. They said they can't label her as both Caucasian and Native American. What?
Seems like bullshit, yeah.
And well, yeah, sounds like bullshit. But what it did here is it made me question, well, is that why it got no attention?
Yeah, that moment I thought was really interesting, and I'm curious to see how that's explored, because there was a lot packed into that brief moment in this episode, right? Because there's what you said. There's the idea that if she had been classified as Native American, it could have drawn on the Native American police resource, like investigative resources, which they didn't do.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the issue, which we talked about in a variation in our How to Tell a Dumb American Story from This American Life, about just crimes against Native people and sort of lack of investigation by non-Native police.
Yeah.
But like, it's hard to tell exactly what was going on here. Something was definitely going on here related to that. It's just fuzzy.
You're so right. It was like, I don't know how long they spent discussing it. Not very long, but in the couple of sentences, in the couple of minutes that was spent discussing this, there was so much there that was kind of jaw-dropping. Like, what?
Yeah. I want them to come back to that.
And I think it is because yeah, definitely. But I think it is because we had known, we had discussed this before in other episodes, like the impact of that. And it kind of nearly, it added more questions, but it also, unfortunately, I'm not going to say it answered more questions for me, but it maybe provided more theories for me because of what we'd heard in the past, which isn't necessarily a good thing at all. In fact, it's always not a good thing. But Yeah, I just thought that was wild. Like what a bizarre statement. You can only be one or the other is basically what it is. And also like their whole thing was basically we can't label her as both because it'll be confusing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, she doesn't look at all Native American is what I'm getting from it. So if we label her as Caucasian and Native American, it might confuse people. They might not recognize her is what I got from it.
Which seems profoundly dumb, right?
Well, like it's idiotic. Because if you describe her and then you also say that she is both Caucasian and Native American, it was just baffling.
I'm pretty sure because I've seen several of them. There's pictures of her. You could just show people pictures of her, and that kind of tells you what she looks like. She's not. Her looks aren't defined by a box that you check on a form.
Yeah.
There's a few other things that I thought were really interesting. One of which you alluded to before, but I want to talk a little more about, which is the bit about moms being the best investigators. Which I think, to me, the parts of this podcast that really were effective and I guess affecting were kind of putting myself in the shoes of the mom when she allows her daughter to go, and then the daughter calls her to say like, hey, I missed the ride. And the mom, who is like doing overnight care for an Alzheimer's patient, so the mom is not at home, the mom cannot go get her, and is a single mom, and basically is putting it in the hands of this 14-year-old who she's never let do anything like this before. Of course, it's the first time she ever lets her do anything like this, and tells her call your grandma, but then call me back, like call me to let me know, and she never gets that call. And then that feeling of like, and it's just, I thought it was described very powerfully in this episode of she goes home and Misty's not there. You know, but she can't go home until the morning. So like the whole night goes by and she's just worried about her because she never hears back from her. That I thought it's
kind of hard to imagine it now, given like mobile phones,
cell phones, yeah.
Even like for younger kids, like watches and like all these things where we like know where people are all of the time.
But then the next thing is we have these glimpses into Diana's investigation. So aside from the frustration of the police and the police being unwilling to help her like going to Trina, the friend's house, her tracking down this guy, Ruben, talking to Ruben's roommate who gives a different story about where Ruben was, finding this bus driver who was maybe the last known person to see her daughter alive.
That can't have been easy.
How do you find a bus driver? I know how you find a bus driver. Honestly, they drive a route. Yeah,
but honestly, Diana sounded like a bit of a smoke show. She sounded like she could get shit. She sounded like she was like determined. She also sounded like the type of stylish. How do I say this? I don't want to.
She sounded like Sarah Connor, is what she sounded like. She sounded like Sarah Connor.
I don't know who that is.
Terminator, Linda Hamilton.
Oh yeah.
Terminator 2, Linda Hamilton.
So she just can get shit done.
Yeah.
So she can just get shit done. And she can convince people to be like, hey, I need to know this information. They're like, cool, yeah, here you go.
She also did something that we've talked about before. When the police didn't help her, she went to the media. When the police finally did start helping her, she still kept calling the police and pestering them to actually do something, so that from the police perspective, they have to either start working on this investigation or she's never going to leave them alone and she's going to embarrass them to the press, which you shouldn't have to do. But how many times have we heard that you have to do that? That's a part of being in a family as like a victim of a crime.
Yeah, and even going back to that other story that we heard about, I think in This American Life. About the family who was it in Montana?
Yeah, it was in Montana. Yeah.
And they were a Native American family, an Indigenous family. And I remember even when they were pestering the police, they were like kind of shut down and like made feel like idiots kind of for pestering them. Whereas it seems like whatever way she was pestering them and for whatever reason, I don't know, it got them working a little bit, but they were still not listening.
No, but I mean, she clearly...
That's why the police kind of involvement in it sort of makes sense-ish.
Yeah.
And that angle kind of makes sense. Like, I know Sarah Cailean threw out that theory at one point. I don't know how you felt about that.
That because the bus stop was across the street from the police station, I feel like out of nowhere throws out this theory of like, because there was this one other time where this happened in like the early 80s, like could it really have been a cop who abducted her? And which, sure, maybe it.
But also it could have been lots of people.
Literally anyone.
Yeah. And there's one other thing I wanted to ask you about, which I wish I went back and listened to it for a third time, because I just thought it was a bit bizarre, which was, when she went on this news talk show thing, and then the caller called in, and Sarah Cailean really leaned into the detail of Diana, or maybe like the over detail. I don't know, like her style and her hair and how put together she was and how beautiful she always was, and how I was just like, this is so, I don't know, it just felt like so interesting. Interesting in a like, it felt so strange.
Yes.
And kind of out of place.
Yes.
Because I was like, I kind of expected when she was saying, this, like her hair was this way and her clothes were this way, I nearly expected her to say, but in her eyes you could see the pain or whatever. But she was really just talking about how fabulous she looked, which is great. Good for you, Diana. Like, but there was no
What's
like,
the point?
I'm putting this out here as like, she presents very well, but you can really see the years of pain. And I'm not saying there wasn't years of pain in Diana, but like I just didn't understand the purpose of explaining her style and everything in that moment. It didn't really make sense to me. It kind of felt like it was weirdly placed there. Does that make sense?
It does. And this sort of gets to what I remember disliking, or at least having mixed feelings about with the Jennifer Judd story, was I felt like she kind of showed her notes too much. Like we followed along with her on the investigation in a way that it didn't feel super tightly put together. And I think there's evidence of that in this episode of she's just sort of throwing a bunch of stuff out there, some of which will be, go nowhere, some of which is just sort of odds and ends, bits and pieces. And compared to some other series we've listened to, this one maybe just feels a little bit rough around the edges. And I'm curious, like this is one episode out of 8, see how it goes. But it does give me a little bit of pause that there's going to be 7 more episodes when I'm like wondering like, okay, could this have been a 4-parter? Like, could these 45-minute episodes been 25? Is it going to be padded?
Maybe.
That's a prediction I have. I bet I'm going to say this could have been shorter.
Interesting. Let's see.
Anyway, so you're excited to keep listening to this series?
I'm not.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Are we going to hate listen to this?
No.
What are we
I'm here
rooting
for Diana, and I'm here for Colton.
We know.
I like Sarah Cailean. I think I like her.
We know Misty doesn't get found, and we know Diana is dead before this even starts.
I know, it's just so sad. Like, we knew Diana in the previous series was dead before it started, but at least there was fun clothes. And there was lots of rich people we could slag.
That is true. Yeah. Well,
no
let's find out. Maybe there will be. We don't know. 7 more episodes. Anything could happen. We could go anywhere.
Are you eager to keep listening?
No. I'm not. Is
it just because you're irritable? I don't think you want to listen to anything.
It might be. That's definitely not helping. No, I am really curious. So I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna hopefully feel a little bit better than I feel today, and I'm curious to see if that suddenly I come around to this. Sometimes I do, but I also haven't been this sick in a long time, so it's definitely affecting me.
Yeah, you're pretty grouchy.
Thanks.
Call you Oscar.
Okay. All right.
We call you Oscar from now on.
Please don't.
Oscar and D signing out.
Before we go, do you find us annoying in any way? Do you
find Oscar really grouchy right now? Really annoying.
Do you dislike our style? Do you have notes for what we could do better?
It doesn't need to be collective. Whose style do you dislike the most? We throw that out there. Let's be divisive.
All right.
Don't we just need more division in this world? Isn't that what people want, Jeff?
If there's one thing I keep seeing whenever I go online or talk to people, it's like there's just people aren't divided enough. So
I think so, indeed.
Which actually maybe is a better way of framing this. If you need a place for unity and to find a common bond with your fellow person out there, go to the comments on this episode, on any episode of our show. Go to our social media. Those are all linked in the notes. And chat with us. Give us a rating.
Yeah.
Talk to other folks about this show. This is 5. A show.
5 is a nice number to give.
This is a show that brings people together. And
it does.
Everyone can agree. Whatever you think of the podcast we listen to, whatever you think of the world at large, everyone can agree that this show is wonderful. Next time, will Sarah Cailean be able to solve this case after so many years?
And if so, who did it? And could it have been solved decades earlier?
We're recapping all of Who Took Misty Copsey.
That's on the next So Much Crime.
So Little Time.
So Much Crime, So Little Time is a production of MimeGov Media. The executive producer is Paxton Calariso. Our associate producer is Blythe Ty. Theme music was composed by Vyacheslav Starostin. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to this show in your podcast app. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and a review. Even better, tell your friends. To join the discussion, look for us on social media. Check out the show notes for all the links. Thanks for listening.